First time pa ni sa ato ang sa Iligan nga naa jud tay news outlet for the youth. And we believe na we can inspire people because we can share stories timely.
To be able to contribute a part of yourself to the society, you must start to care within yourself.
Right. Evening to everyone and to those who are listening to our podcast for tonight. So you are now listening to Adulting Talks, wherein I actually invite people to be my guests. But basically, this podcast started with a dream. And the topic is all about dreams, actually. Because I would like people to start dreaming and, for them to hear what are the different ways to achieve these dreams. And for tonight, I have actually invited two beautiful ladies from Iligan City. So these are Iliganons, the same with me. Of course, I'm born and raised in Iligan City, but now I'm here in the other side of the world. And I'm very pleased to have them because they have actually achieved certain milestones already in their lives at an early age, being beauty queens of the city of Iligan. And more importantly, they're not only just famous people, but they're actually closer to my heart because these two were my students before in the senior high school program when I was still teaching at St. Michael's College. So I would like to introduce them. They're actually the Miss Iligan Beauties. We have Threcia Digamon, yay! And Miss Kimberly Ballares. So these two people, I would like to add some more. So kaning mga duha ka mga bata pamangkin ni sila sa una. But then pag-graduate nila senior high kay murag gidalaga na bitog kalit. So these two people were not only just your typical kinds of students in high school. So these are actually my leaders as well. Like nakalimot lang ko sa mga section pero kamo gid ako mga point person in your section. Like si Threcia, you are the leader of your section. Can you still remember your section?
Saint
Thomas of Aquinas. Yeah, I remember. And then Kim is Saint Mark. Saint Francis of Assisi. I'm sorry, na-change today. I think sa akong first batch to siya. So they're actually my second batch of senior high school students. And I'm very happy actually to be part of your lifetime journey there is a world because you have already marked something sa syudad sa Iligan. And karon these two beautiful ladies, magbalik ko ato nga my description. I couldn't think of any other words. Kani silang duha are already students at MSU IIT, and then another reason close na pud sila sa akong heart because they're actually in the same department where I graduated at Mindanao State University, Iligan Institute of Technology. So from that, I would say they have the passion to learn the language, communication, most especially in English. So I would like to start this podcast asking these students, how are you right now? I would like to start with Miss Iligan, Miss Threcia. How are you today so far? How was your life?
Like, sir, I'm really at the point of my life na I'm very thankful, Jud, because like the Miss Iligan title was really life-changing. Dagan kay kog opportunities nga na kuha, dagan kay blessings, and I know it's our responsibility also, but I'm enjoying it. Like I'm loving it, Jud, sir. I'm very grateful na I was given this title and I was able to meet a lot of people and even inspire a few, sir. So right now I'm just very happy. So at this very moment, very honored po kay ko, sir, to be with you, to be with Kim in this podcast. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Threcia. Sakto ba kung pag-pronounce yung name? Okay. I would just call you Miss Digamon. Sakto. Dili kay ko anad ng Threcia. Murag, it sounds like a tongue twister to me. Yeah, I think I could relate to your experience. When you have that title, when you are already there, like after the pageant, you would meet a lot of people, and then because before we would think na the kanang mga inspiring ng mga tao kay nara sa eskwelahan, but after the pageant, you would realize like, oh my God, he or she is a good speaker. Kanang murag, inspiring people are all around, right? Of course, not everyone would kay mga inspiring. Everyone would serve as a lesson to you or something like that. Pero still a good experience. So thank you so
Yeah.
much for telling us how are you right now. I think I would say murag, you're still reigning, right? So Miss Iligan, what year? What year?
29.
2019. So we weren't able to have the pageant last year. So until now, still the reigning queens. I see. And we also have another reigning queen. Oh, by the way, so before joining Miss Iligan, I know you were also into the barangay level, right? So that where the two of you joined Miss Palao. I think you came from the same barangay, am I right?
Yes po.
So Miss
Yes, sir,
Palao,
but
Miss Palao
joined-
and Miss Iligan. Again, what is it?
We joined different na years na sir. Una si Kim, then after ako dayon.
I see. So, title holder ba mo sa Miss Palao po?
Second runner-up ra ko, sir.
Okay.
Title holder dyan.
I see. Okay. All right. But anyways, like for me, if you are already part of the top 5, or even if you're just joining the pageant, I would say that you are already, a point person. Like the moment you enter the stage and, show to people and explain to people your advocacy, I think you are already a winner. So I think, the pageant does not stop right there on stage during the coronation night. Like the true pageant yun, kay kanang after the pageant, which is how you live your life and how you impact the people around you. So walay pagdapig-dapig, I would like to ask Miss Kimberly Marie Ballares to tell us how is she right now.
Same with ko answer, Threcia. Like, I've been incorporating gratitude in my life daily, which made me like 10 times happier sa akong life karon. Recently lang, nahuman ko sa akong summer job and like, very, kuan po kayo siya nga experience ako apa, like, very nourishing kay marag years of like lockdown, tas marag every opportunity for kanang socialization kay marag ako yung ginakuan ba, ako yung gina-value bitaw and like, yeah, karon kay I am at the stage of my life na I would like to venture into different fields. Like I would like to use this time to be more productive. So that's all.
All right, thank you so much, Kim. And while you were talking, actually, I also relate to myself, to your chika. Kanang ganahan ko kay namo ana nga drive because not all people have that kind of drive in life. Like for example, yung sila nga guwapa ko, kanang murag magpa-arty bitaw, like I'm just gonna stay at home, like do some TikTok or post pictures on Instagram. But you are also my friends on Facebook. I would really see you on the ground, So si Kim, I saw that you are part of the Iligan Young Writers Guild, right? And you're also, joining competitions. I think last year sa Linggo ng Kabataan, dagan mo gipang apilan ng mga events sa Sangguniang Kabataan, which is really good. And I think right now, Threcia is also into radio broadcasting, right? Unsa pa yung mga other engagements? So actually earlier, murag very very general kay yung gipanghatag ng mga pictures. And I'd like you to be more specific into what kind of organizations are you in, because as what I've said, the pageant is continuous. It's all about inspiring people. So how are you actually inspiring people? Murag bugat kay nga responsibility, Inspiring people, di dapat. I don't know, but it's actually depende sa heart sa um, to those people who are joining this ambassadors and ambassadress competitions. So maybe I would like to start with Kim. Like as what I've already mentioned, you are in the Writers Guild, and kumusta man ang Writers Guild karon? Like, can you tell our listeners, our viewers, what is this all about?
So, Iligan Young Writers Guild is composed of writers from different barangays all over Iligan City. So, under Miss Youth Affairs Office, and like among aim is to be like the stage or somehow the platform for the stances of the youth. Like mura siya views na mo as ka ng outlet bitaw for the youth. And this is also aligned with our values for youth empowerment.
Okay, very nice. I think this is very new for Iligan, and I'm really happy about what's happening in Iligan right now. And I hope this could really, open the eyes of the people. And then, the power of the youth guild. Okay, before we feel very powerless. Okay, batanon raman ko, kanang sa man akong mabuhat. Pero we didn't know that actually we comprised, majority of the population. That if we make the right decisions right now, it would make a lot of impact yun sa community, most especially for the upcoming elections. But I don't like this podcast to be highly political. But I hope for the best, through the creative juices of the youth. So Miss Threcia, ano ba ang pinagkakaabalahan ng aming Miss Iligan?
So right now, sir, pareha ni Kim, we are under the Iligan Young Writers Guild. I am actually the managing editor of the guild, and we are the pioneering members of the guild because first time pa ni sa ato ang sa Iligan nga naadjud tay news outlet for the youth, and we believe na we can inspire people because we can share stories, timely and relevant news to them. And also, aside from being the managing editor of Iligan Young Writers Guild, I am also currently working at the City Tourism Office as the City Tourism Ambassadress. Actually, almost 2 years na from now. So, after na ako nakadaog, mga pila ka months, ikuha din ko sa City Tourism to be a public servant because the local government unit believe that if a beauty queen, her reign or her advocacy doesn't end on the night of the coronation, but it extends after the coronation, what she can do for her community, what she can do for the people of Iligan. So, Mona, sir, I am the City Tourism Ambassadress. We do promotions for the city and mga trabaho sa tourism. And also, naga-engage po ta sa ato ang Sangguniang Kabataan. We joined the Linggo ng Kabataan. Last year, nag-community-based journalism, radio broadcasting. But right now, since ang amuang guild, ang Iligan Young Writers Guild, ang nagunit sa community-based journalism, so di na namin pwede mag-join. So, I still continued radio broadcasting.
I see. Okay. I nearly forgot nga napuday ka sa City Tourism Office. Murag, pasensya kay murag na ako I'm many miles away from Iligan. Pero, yeah, I think with that, I would like to actually commend, once again, the city government, most especially sa particular department na in charge for actually including you to be part of the City Tourism Office, because I think it's a big step. I don't know if they have done it before, but during my time as Ginoong Iligan, murag wala inana nga murag, oh, you need to be with us, kay you need to help us with city tourism. So I think that's a huge improvement in their part, and actually it's making your reign as well tangible, and I'm happy to hear that. So, yeah, murag daghan na gid mo murag na-achieve, no? Murag, pero kalo ko kanang word kay kanang murag it bears a responsibility ba? Kay although ako karon murag I'm trying to, for us who are already here, who are already working on the ground, we're actually thinking kanang normal naman akong gipang buhat. Pero in the minds and in the eyes of other people, murag mingon sila nga, grabe na jud kay ni si si Miss Iligan, grabe na jud kay ni si Kim, kanang grabe kay kaaktibo, something like that. So in a way, we are indirectly, encouraging the youth to be doing what you're doing because this is what they're supposed to do. They have to continuously improve themselves and find their niche, find where they should be in this world. And I would like to ask you, I would like to start with Threcia. How are you actually, aside from doing these things and indirectly inspiring people to do what they want, how are you actually encouraging the youth? Or if you're not doing it yet, how would you like to encourage the youth? What would you like them to do right now, most especially during the pandemic?
So, when I joined Miss Iligan, my main advocacy, and I know it's cliche, but it was really all about youth empowerment. And right after the pageant, I was able to donate my award from Republic Cement to my alma mater, which is Iligan City Central School. I donated 100 sacks of cement para sa school, para naamang part sa central na murag bahuunon siya. And gusto ko nga ato ang mga learners is mas maganahan sila maskwela kay nindot ilang agian. So I think that's one thing na I did to empower the youth. I know that may be very shallow to some, but I'm really proud of myself that I nag-initiate ko ana. And then right now in the pandemic, like daghan kay unta kayo mig plans na mag fundraising, and actually daghan mi plans sa mga candidates sa Miss Iligan, but it was put into a halt because of the pandemic. We have limited mobility gyud, like parehatong nag-ECQ and all, so we cannot push through with the plans. Now, right now, aside from being in the city government, I think my extracurricular activities like being in the field of writing, in the field of journalism could really inspire the youth to be keen observers of our community. And also I want them to know na they don't need to be very active para ilang mapafeel sa ila ang self nga grabe ko ka-productive na youth. Whatever makes them happy, whatever makes them comfortable, then do it. As long as wala sila'y natapakan na laing tao, wala sila'y napasakitan na laing tao, because every one of us have our timelines. No? Some of our youth today may be working, some may be just focused on school, and that's all right. Dili, kita tanan na atay timeline, and they don't need to pressure themselves na, oh my God, pandemic, wala ko'y nabuhat. No, actually the pandemic is the time for us to reevaluate ourselves and to know ourselves more. It is time for us to hone our talents or even rediscover what unsa tong mga nawala sa tong self sa una nga we are very free. Like it is a time for realization. And I want our youth to know that.
Yeah. Right. I'd like to agree with you. I think during this time, like second year naman dito sa pandemic, like many people have realized something in themselves and also discover, new talents, new skills. Like ako karon feeling na ako siguro 70% na akong cooking skills. Kabayan ako magluto for myself. And then, I think I have already started my podcast as well. So I think, it has good things to all of us. And before we continue, before I ask him that question, I would like also to acknowledge one of our sponsors for this podcast, which is the Rotary Club of Iligan Bay. This will be heard on their social media accounts and also on my accounts on my YouTube channel. You can check this out. And this is also present, and you can hear this one on podcast platforms such as Spotify, Anchor.fm, Google Podcast, like any podcast platform. So yeah, so you can listen to this one. Thank you so much for listening, and I would like to ask Kimberly Marie Ballares the same question.
So I think self-care is really really important. Like, to be able to contribute a part of yourself to the society, you must start to care within yourself, dude. Like, katumagong pandemic bitaw is I had a lot of realizations within me, and kanang I think it all started with my inner work, that I was able to kanang join organizations bitaw and somehow like as I said, contribute a part of me. Like, ako ang skills, ako ang na contribute sa Iligan yung Writers Guild. I was able also to like establish small business with my friend, which is artistic that ILG nga.
Oh, apil de kadto. Okay, amazing.
Like, I accept like painting commissions, like kanang mga mini canvases bitaw, and I think I wouldn't be able to do all of that without starting to care within myself first. Like, grabe ka important yun ang self-care, because as I said, this is the way kanang what happens within you is kanang can reflect how you interact with other people and how you present yourselves. So I think that's very important. Okay,
Yeah.
and also for to also go with the flow, because the more we try to control things, like back then I'm like a control freak sa life. I would want everything to be perfect the way it is. I think this is also one of the reasons why I was so anxious back then sa ko ang high school days, because I want to like achieve this certain amount of like perfection sa ko ang work, sa ko ang performance sa school. And as I try to incorporate it bitaw, I realized that mas daghan ni gawa sa akong self ko kanang negativity, like for example anxiety and all that. Like, we need to trust the universe and
Yeah.
its
Yeah, I think so. That kind of factor, no, Murag. We also need to, to give it to God. Like, that's what they said. You need to do your best. Do your best, and God will do the rest. Murag. Inana nga concept. And yeah, thank you so much for your inputs. Actually, Murag, grabe na kataas na katong gipang storyahan, no, Murag. About the Murag, lofty ideals na bitaw kay sa tanan. And I think I'll go back to a particular subject, which has something to do with your family, and then your reason, your actual reasons why actually doing these things. So I'd like to ask, some family or, the rationale behind, like, about your family, like, pila mo ka maigsoon sa inyong pamilya, something like that. Like, because, example for me, I think I became a leader, like, starting with my family, because I'm the eldest among the 5 children in my family. Siguro, kana nga concept sa inyong pinabuhi. Like, what makes you Threcia Digamon is because of your experiences, something like that. So, can we know more about Threcia apart from what we see on the outside, if it's okay?
So, what really inspired me, sir, to really strive hard in life is my mom. Actually, sir, dagan kong igsuon, but I grew up with my mom, nga ako lang, dayon kami lang jud ni mama per me ang magkauban. Like, everything I do it for her. Aside from God, I do it for her. Aside from myself, siya gyud ang ako ang. Kay growing up, I saw my mom sacrifice a lot of things just to make me happy, just to give my needs, and not just my needs, even my wants. Like, dili jud me dato nga pamilya, sir. Like, I admit, dili jud na ako ikaulaw nga pobre jud me. And isa jud na sa kung imong na-concert karong na-viral na photo namo ni mama nga akong gipasa sa yang crown, kay para manggod sa ako, like, I wouldn't be Threcia Digamon. I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't for her. Like, if I wasn't inspired by her strength, like, akong mama gyud, sir, kay grabe, murag tanan klase sa trabaho iyang sudlan basta kay tarong lang para lang iyang mahatag sa ako ang the best nga life. Ug dili never jud nako siya ikaulaw, she's my pride. And sa tanan akong mga achievements, iya ana tanan, dili nako na i-claim nga ako ana. No, that's God and that's because of my mother. So daghan mi igsuon pero dili kay ko inana ka close sa ila kay wala mi gadungan. So ako ra gyud ang gadako jud kang mama nga mo nang ako joy ka nang murag witness sa iya ang mga kaagi, kaya ang mga sacrifices. So mo nang grabe ko ka-attach sa iya and every time iya ang mga sufferings ng istorya rag may emotional ko murag makahilak ko kay grabe gyud yun makaingon jud ko sa akong mama nga she's a strong woman, like I'm strong because of her. Like siguro mo nang ginaingon sa uban nga you're a queen because you are raised by one. So yun na akong mama, sir.
So, maghilak na tanig. Actually, while listening ko, like, I know we have our, individual stories with our mothers. Ako po, marag, ako mama good po, pero hearing stories, coming from you, marag, very emotional kayo, marag, heartwarming kayo paminawin pa. And, yeah, marag, inhale sa siguro ta. Marag, hamak ko siya, emotional post. Kim, like, why are you teary eyes?
Cute mo kay nag-story si ko and good Threcia, like pag makita na ko iyang mama kay ang reflection bitaw niya. Anak bitaw.
Yeah, I actually saw that post as well. Siguro ko tong ibutang dire sa picture, like the post you are crowning your mother. And I've actually witnessed a similar kind of makahilak din na nga situation. Like I've also witnessed similar kind of situation. It was also a graduation day. And then, the mother is di siya kalakautarong, something like that, nagasakit. But the mother still went on the stage and then hindi pang hatag ko niyang medals. Like, it's actually my friend in the name of Aling in high school. And then, siguro taran kami ng hilak. Ano ba daw? We give all the glory gives sa ato ang mga kanan. And I think Kim could also relate. Like, I've met your mother. I think I met your mother sa City Tourism Office before. And I know how supportive she is with you. Can you tell us something about your queen as well?
Active kay siya na stage mother. Like, dili naman ako mo join og pageantry if it wasn't for her manggod. Kay, katong pag-join ako atong Miss Malao, kay atong ingon sa kuha, nag-appeal siya project, pero wala siya nakapadayon bitaw. And like, gusto niya, ang mga butang na wala continue niya, o wala niya nabuhat, reflect bitaw sa kuha. And grateful po kay ko, naghihimo po na ko bitaw ng mga butang kay somehow it made me who I am today. So yeah.
Which is good kay inanay mong pagka-receive bitaw sa, it's not really a pressure, pero some people man good kay murag, di sila ganahan nga, gina-impose sila of something from their parents. And yeah, I'm happy that you're actually well receiving these kinds of, mandate or commands from your mothers. That is only for your own good. And I think kung ginikanan pug kunimo dayon inanay mong beauty, inanay mong talent, like join the ana.
Like murag it's a matter of like perspective to bitaw, sir. Like if ako i-view siya as murag i-impose lang ni mama sa kay murag dili ako siya mapuli enjoy. Murag mo to, like murag I've seen the beauty po sa iyang intention sa kuha na gusto ko siya mag-grow to. Like ilabay bitaw to public. So,
yeah. Nice. It was a nice experience. Okay, so kabalo na sa reason na natubag naman imong pangutana, it's all because of your mother as well. Like, what makes Kimberly Ballares? Aside from your mother, what are other key factors that make you who you are right now?
So ako rin isa na. And that means dagan nitong time to kanang converse with myself a lot. So muna, ang ako dyan like, one of my greatest value dyan is self-care. Kay, as I said, like, silang mama magpapa, magtrabaho sila, every day sila. ako ra isa sa balay. Then, conversations ako ang self, like, actually, like, experience a lot of moments na magpa-existential crisis ko somehow. Kay, lahi ang gundang ikaw ra dito isa sa balay, di ba, anak ra sa siguro, no, kanang relatable ko sa story ni Rapunzel. Like, parang, na-reflect ko na sa ko bitaw, like bisa kung sa mo pud na nga kanang dagan ko'y hobbies bitaw kay growing up ako ra isa anak and like dili po kay ko I mean nako'y childhood memories but like most of the time bitaw kay naara ko sa balay, so I end up having a lot of like imaginary friends to my toys, so yeah mo to, but like same with Threcia pod, like I gain my strength food from my mom jud, like mama's girl jud kay ko, like pag makita mi sa akong mama kay mura mig kanang example nagkuan ko summer job ko atong sa YA dahil ako mama kay naa siya dito sa ethnic, like pag magkita mi to mi kay mura bitaw wala mi nagstay sa balay, like ma like ang bad lang, I'm very close with my mom and also with akong papa, like pag mag-uban mi kay we're like the power trio kay since mo to siya kaming tulo perminti may mag-uban.
Minsan pang katulong?
Sir?
Minsan pang katulong?
Si Papa.
Okay. Power trio. Kami yung another girl. I'm sorry.
Kami
Power
Papa,
trio.
like, power trio mismo, mama sa Papa. And kanang, also po, ang ginahimo ko bitaw sa kuha, as of now sa kong stage, is gina-train ko to be independent. Kay, wala mo ko igsuon. Na bitaw, like, murag, I need to stand up on my own. I need to learn things by myself. Kay eventually, simba ko palayo, like, mawala bigla itong mga ginikanan bitaw. And somehow, training sa life sa kuha.
Mawala yeah.
Mo training sa life bitaw sa kuha nga to stand up on my own. That's why, in my 20s, I try to like, use my time a lot to learn things, to discover, to meet new people. That's why I am today.
Yay! How old are you, Kim?
21, sir.
21. And Sha, you are, how old are you right now?
21 to sir.
21. You know what? I think I was your teacher when I was 21 years old. Mutuo mo, na? Like, I started teaching in SMC when I was 20 years old. That was actually the time when I graduated. Murag na-delay mo gamay ko sa senior high school program. Pero you are already there, no? Murag ako po dato gani kay murag 20 pa mo din nagtudlo. Very early, but yeah, this is already where you are right now. That's why akong gi-title gid ani kay Adulting Talks. Kani nga episode, kani nga podcast, by the way. Because I'm trying to, to invite people to talk with me. How are they with their adulting life? Or something like that. Okay, I think we now go to the last part of our episode. Dili kay nato siya taskon. And yeah, thank you so much for being with us. For being with me. Okay, I would like to talk about more on challenges and then something bitaw nga nakapa-down sa inyo ha. Like, okay, I don't know, pero siguro mag-similar experiences lang siya. Like, for me personally, I'm gonna start with myself para na may reference. For me, siguro daghan kaayo moingon sa kuha nga, okay man kay kayo, daghan kay mo support sa imuha, daghan kay ganahan sa imuha, but murag wa sila kabalo bitaw like how much negativities as well I've been receiving from people. Like, even when I joined the Miss Iligan, like, there were actually certain judges nga murag muduol gyud sa imuha, nga murag, I don't know, siguro points for improvement to me, pero anong murag dili mo tuo sa imo, dili mo believe sa imuha ba? Do you have these kinds of people nga murag trying to pull you down, and how do you actually kanang react to them? How do you deal with these people? How do you deal with people who are trying to pull you down? Or are there people na ba kayo na nga mga encounters?
Naa, sir, like, di ba naman gitay in the world of pageantry, natay ginaset bitong beauty standards. And back then, I used to question myself a lot na nung mag-join ko kay, of course, naman yung insecurities, like insecurities sa akong self, like, and somehow the more bitaw I focus on my insecurities, kay the more na ko siya makita sa mga tao, anak bitaw, guys. For example, when I joined my first pageantry, I was so insecure about how I walk on the stage. And somehow, pag like makadungog kong nabitaw nangatawa sa kilid, kay murag personal attack mo to siya para sa kuha. Kay mauman akong di una bitaw focus. Pero somehow bitaw, if like you focus on your strength rather than your weaknesses, kay mas free-flowing ang life. And also po, I read this somewhere on Facebook, nga your calling daw will crush you. And I resonated with that a lot. Kay if you're meant to be an inspiration or to be someone to empower other people, like ma-challenge pod ang imuhang view sa imong self, kay panaghan ang tawo nga gadawt sa imuha, kay mauman na imong calling, ana bitaw.
I see.
So yeah, the way I deal with it is like I always remind myself that I cannot control what they perceive of me. So I just have to listen to myself.
Yes. Amen to that. Okay. Thank you so much, Kim. Like, we have to believe in ourselves, you know? Okay. How about you, Threcia? What are the common, negative impressions you hear from people, and then how do you deal with it?
So, first jud na kong pageant, sir, was ako yung like nadunggan lang nako sa palibot nga ay tsaka man murag ana ito, sir, murag I know biggest insecurity gyud nako ang beauty. I know I'm not that beautiful for others. Now, beauty is subjective, but I know nga dili jud ko ina kagwapa sa uban, dili ko ina ka beauty queen material. And that pageant was my first pageant, and the moment I step inside the room, I hear yun mga kuan nga, ay dili man gwapa, marag kung wala na lang jud nako na pull off sa interview nga portion, siguro wala ko na appeal. So marag isa na sa akong mga kuan nga dili ka gwapa, or I even after wait lang, sir, ha?
Yeah, sure. Okay, go.
Sorry. So even after I won the crown, I received mga anonymous na message akin na bitang sa Twitter, sir, kanang like curious cat as FM kung sa una pa, like maingon sila nga nariningon dito nga Miss Iligan ka, di man maklaro sa nawong, like okay, like for me sa mga inana bitaw nga akong madunggan is I actually take them as a compliment. Like, see, even not having a pretty face, I could prove that I could win a crown, because for me pageants are not just all about your outer beauty, but it is also all about your inner beauty and what you can give to other people, what impact you could give to other people's lives. And I believe I was effective in that aspect, and I proved that beauty pageants are beyond what we can see, but it is that person has the potential, that person has something to give to other people. So hearing negative comments about my physical appearance, dili ko actually ma-down. I take them actually as a compliment, kay dili lang ako ang physical appearance ang akong power, but I have more than that. I have beyond what others could see. So in ana, and also one of the challenges pud guro nga ako ang na-encounter growing up was not having a father. Like nagdako ko nga mura bitaw mag-ask ko sa na unsa kay feeling nga na ipapa, unsa kay feeling if kana ang naakay masumbungan, but actually even though wala ko'y papa, I never felt na kulang ko because my mom feel ginya tanan ang mga gaps and emptiness sa akong life. Like, nagpakamama siya, nagpakapapa siya, tanan support sa duha ka tawo na hatag sa isa ka tawo sa marina na bitaw. Like, strong na kay ko, bata pa lang ko daan, tungod sa akong mama, tungod sa ako ang mga naagian. And ganang mga criticisms na mga words nga, dili ko gwapa or plastic ko or batik kog batasan siguro na po inanaw ako kabalo, dili na jud siya maka-down sa ako kay I've been through a lot and istorya ra na mura bitaw dili ko mopalit og istorya not unless ma-harm nako, especially akong mama. So that's it, sir. That's how I handle criticisms or bad judgments about me.
Yay! Thank you so much. We choose our battles, and depende good sa storya good. Like, we take these challenges and then these negative impressions as well to actually improve ourselves. Like, kung nasa like comment about Annie, then I could first develop myself, and because we need to also assess the kind of impressions that they give to us. Like, if you have already given your best, then that's good. But I like the way you to explain the way how you deal with these kinds of problems. So once again, I'm very pleased to have you in this podcast, and I know for those who are listening, they are inspired by your stories and how to deal with those problems and what actually inspire you and what to do during this time. Di na sila magpundo sa ilang balay, although if it's required to stay at home, they need to do something worthwhile as well. But kung gusto nila magpahulay, then pahulay lang sa food, take a rest, but continue to live life. Ana. Okay. So once again, I'm very thankful, I'm very grateful to have you with me in this podcast, and I hope this will not be the last. I'd like to invite you soon next time, whatever, I don't know what will happen in the future about my podcast. So once again, you could actually check this podcast on Spotify, on YouTube as well. And I would like to thank our sponsor for this podcast, the Rotaract Club of Iligan Bay. And I'm actually partnering with them, and I'll be inviting more youth from the city of Iligan